What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I wanna comment on some statement that Jeff McInnis gave. I'm not sure what podcast he was on, but they asked Jeff McInnis uh, the difference between Mike and Kobe and LeBron, right? And I've been saying this for so long, the difference between Mike and Kobe. Um, like Mike and Kobe is like having a Swiss Army knife. They can just do everything on the basketball court. Now they're just not scores, guys. They score, they can score at will. But like if you need a rebound, Mike is going to get you a rebound. If you need a steal, Mike is going to get you a steal. Same thing with Kobe. You need a rebound or a steal, Kobe going to get you what you need when you need it. Same thing with Mike, right? And I always use the example of when Chicago was playing Utah in the championship, and Chicago had to stop Utah because they was in danger of losing that game, right? In the series. And John Stockton throws the ball into, or somebody throw the ball into Karl Malone in the low post. Then they cut, and Michael Jordan followed them. And I guess Karl Malone thought that Michael Jordan went all the way through. And then as soon as Mike knew that Karl wasn't looking, Mike doubled back and stole the ball from him. Chicago needed that steal right then and there. And that play right there, to me, just once, that just signified that Mike just gave the team what they need when they needed it. And the same thing for Kobe, man. Kobe would give you what you need when you need it. Not every basketball player, not LeBron James. LeBron James just not that, right? And so that's kind of what Jeff McInnis says right here. Jeff McInnis, I started following Jeff McInnis even when he was in college. That's the first time I became aware of him. He played at North Carolina. He was a Tar Heel, right? Jeff McInnis. He was a guard. Then he played with LeBron in Cleveland. So listen to what Jeff McInnis say about those guys, Mike and Kobe.
Do you look at points, rebounds, and assists as because it seems like Kobe would have 40 points and 3 assists, maybe not a lot of rebounds. Is that because he played the outside? How does that work? Like, why do I think that LeBron James is better because he can do it all?
Because I don't think LeBron James can do what Kobe can do. Like, I think you have to. If Kobe had to get a lot of rebounds to win, he would. But I think his role for that team was to score. And if you look at LeBron, I think he's a good player, good scorer, but he can't score as good as these guys. So he try to play the rebound, assist, all that. Like Jordan and Kobe can do that, but they don't have to because you can't stop them. So I think where he lacked offensively, he try to make it like, oh, I'm playing the right way type thing. So.
And that's the truth, right? So Mike and Kobe, they didn't have to, and LeBron James, I heard him say, I always try to make the right basketball play. And there's nothing wrong with that. But Mike and Kobe, they just can impose their will on you offensively and then come down the other end and play you tough defensively, and a lot of times get a stop when they needed it. So LeBron just is not as offensively gifted as Mike and Kobe, and it's not even close, but that's the difference, right? And so I like that because that, to me, that's what separate the great players. Like down the clutch, it's one thing to be able to score in the clutch, but to get a steal or a rebound in the clutch when everybody know that you need a steal, they know you need a rebound. It's just that's just what Mike was.
All the guys could do the same thing, like get points, rebounds, assists, but everybody can't take the game over when it's crunch time and get your team's wins like Kobe and Jordan.
And it's not. That's as simple as it get, right? And that's why people like watching those guys play, because the opponent knows who the ball is going to. Everybody in the arena know who the ball going to. You got coaches, trying to draw up plays that is going to, that's going to be able to stop Mike. You drawing up plays that's going to be to stop Kobe, whether you try to deny him the basketball or double team him so somebody else could get it. But I've seen Mike and Kobe just hit some crazy shots down the clutch, man. And that's just the difference. That's the difference. That's why I just like, I want people to be honest when they talk about, like who's the best and all this stuff, because you can't allow somebody just to control the narrative just because they have a platform. You just can't do that. You just got to be honest about, if what Mike really was or what Kobe really was and what LeBron, what he was as a basketball player. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, LeBron is a great basketball player, but LeBron is not Kobe and LeBron is not Mike, and so that's why when people say that, they talk about this GOAT era and the GOAT debate, I just think it's like it's an open and shut case, for me, like who's the GOAT. Personally, I don't even rank LeBron James like, in the top 10, to be honest. I just put a lot because I've seen so much basketball and so many great basketball players come and go that I just don't. I just don't. And I just don't, like I said, I just like Mike, Kobe, Bird, Magic, Kareem. So many great basketball players, man, that just, in my opinion, I thought that were better than LeBron James. And, but I guess it's for clicks and views. It's, to get people talking. I can understand that. But if you watch the game and you somebody who had an opportunity to see Michael Jordan play, or you had an opportunity to see Kobe Bryant play, then I think most people like Jeff McInnis, who had an opportunity to see Mike and Kobe and LeBron. He played with LeBron James. And you know the difference. Like when you playing with somebody, like you just know the difference. You don't have to put an ad in the paper, or post anything. You just know that Mike is that real deal. You know that Kobe is the real deal. Not like I said, and again, it's not taken away from LeBron James. It's just that you had so many guys who played and seeing these guys, man, it was like, it's just not even close. It's not even close. And then, it's not close. I think it, like I said, it's good for clicks and views, and it's a good conversation. As a matter of, it's not even really a good conversation starter, because now it's getting to the point where as though I'm really just bored with that conversation, that GOAT debate. I don't want to talk about Mike being a GOAT. I don't want to talk about Kobe being a GOAT. I really don't. But I just think that they were just better players. Those guys were just better players than LeBron James. So and Jeff McInnis is somebody who's added to the list. He's just a long list of veteran basketball players who had an opportunity to watch all three of those guys play, watch a whole lot of other people play, and just said, they just know the difference. They just know the difference. I think a lot of players today that are saying LeBron James, I just think some of those guys are on the payroll. They're part of that Clutch Sports Management, or they're part of ESPN or one of these networks that really, they have an agenda and they're shaping the narrative, and so I think that, that's what that's all about. But if you just ask somebody who don't have they don't have anything to gain either way, most of those guys are going to tell you it's Mike. Most of those guys are going to say it's Mike, but and so all I can say is just consider the source. If it's somebody who is connected to Clutch or one of these big networks, I probably wouldn't, I definitely wouldn't listen to their opinions, man, because they just they don't give their honest opinion. It's always some type of it's always some type of politicking or agenda that comes with their opinion. So I wouldn't listen to them. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, man, I'm gonna check you all out in the next video. Peace.